Hey everyone! Today we're going to practice the French R in a new way that isn't taught anywhere else of how to practice so that your R gets, well, as close as to natives. And I think with lots of practice or enough practice, you're gonna get an amazing R. So I introduce myself. My name is Nicholas. Je suis Nicolas. I am French and native French. I'm helping friends to practice the R, and some of them, well, I'm in Latin America, and some of my friends are very good with the Spanish R, rolled R, but not the French R, which is very, very different. And so, in which words do you hear that R in French? Ravi, comprendre, rencontrer, raconter, rue, truc. So you can see that, well, in fact, my favorite example is going to be rat, which is actually a rat. But in French, rat, en rat, you will see on my tongue isn't moving a single bit. Rat, en rat. I can just do all this with my mouth open. En rat, en rat. The only thing that happens, and now you will see, is my throat moving up and down. I'll have to be technical to see what the name of that part is, but this is not the point of today. So the first exercise that is quite famous for that, and this is the most common, is to gargle. Okay, so I'm not, well, let's see. What happens when you put water in your throat, and why gargling is a good exercise, is by reflex. When you put water in your mouth, you're going to be closing that part of your throat. And again, I cannot get technical, I do not know the word for it. But when you put water in your mouth, water won't go into the pipe because you're practicing this reflex. You're using this reflex that protects water from coming in. And so what happens when you gargle is that you have that water in your throat, and in fact what you need to do to have the gargling sound and the gargling going is that you have to release some air softly, okay? And this is what creates that bubbling and sound. So you can always gargle. This is a good practice, this is a good exercise. I wanted to decompose the muscle or the movements that happen, and I did realize that if I do pronounce the word, or if I do try the letter K, there is the same up and down as ra, 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 k, k. So the aha moment is basically to say, instead of practicing and trying to do the R, just put your hand right on your throat and pronounce the letter K, or the sound K, and kind of do it slower and slower and slower, and put your hand and feel what happens. K, K, K. Okay? And now what happens, instead of just releasing, you just keep it up. Okay, so in practice to keep it up. You would pronounce the K, right? So this is what you do for the K or the K sound, but like kind of hold it up, and you feel what's happening here, and you feel that movement. All right. So I'm not gonna use any technical word here, but you have to feel. You have to put your hand on your throat, and feel what happens. Now, let's see if you would pronounce like my friend does the word ra, but you would say ra. Well, you still feel something, all right. But now if you do the letter K, and now you keep it up, and you see you start to open it a little bit, the opening. Okay, so you release the opening, so a little bit of air from the K position comes through. So you're gonna have something like this. Okay, almost like somebody would strangle you, in fact. All right, because what happens is that you're trying to breathe and somebody is closing the pipe. So you have to close your pipe by yourself, not to strangle yourself, but really just to feel that movement upwards in your throat. And finally, trying to adjust your throat, because from the releasing of air, the R is right there. Okay, so then it's just about the placement, and you're gonna see that the R is right there. This is few adjustments away, and then from the finer adjustments I cannot tell you exactly because this is something that you will feel, just like the person that can whistle and can't whistle. So you have to put your lips in the right way, or maybe some will do it with the fingers. But anyway, this is about the adjustment and just closing the pipe sufficiently with the throat movement so that a tiny bit of air comes through and the sound R is created. So maybe you want to practice with me again. Ra, ra, ra. Okay, so between ra and ra, of course, there is a step, there is a difference in the sound, but you're gonna see that with the practice you can release, let's say, a bit more air, so close the pipe a bit less, and you will still you will come closer to a native R, because natives are lazy and probably won't close the pipe that much to be ra, ra. No, this is too much of closing. Okay, so I hope this is useful. This is a spontaneous video, and I have nothing else to add. Enjoy the practice, and I hope to see you soon with a beautiful okay, see you, bye bye.